Yo, you guys, what is going on? It's Blazendary here. And today in this video, I'm going to be doing for you Tier Tuesday. So this is the Hypebeast tier list. I just created this in Photoshop, and I am going to be leaving a link in the description below if you guys want to go ahead, download this tier list, do it for yourself, and then upload your own reaction to the tier list. And maybe as a community, we could come together, put together this whole list. Y'all see this whole list right here? Whew, sheesh, there's a lot of things to cover. It took me a little bit to make this. Big shout out to iDubbbz. I wanted to say that he inspired me to do this video. I've been a big fan of him, Max Mofo, and Filthy Frank for a couple years now. Filthy Frank stopped uploading. iDubbbz still continues, thankfully, and Max Mofo really continues on his Pokemon channel. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and make a Hypebeast rendition of it. It's kind of ironic too because iDubbbz is kind of like anti-Hypebeast. It's whatever. My opinions are purely my own opinions, and I don't want to reflect any negativity when it comes to actually ranking these brands. I'm just going to be completely honest, completely truthful. I used to rock every single brand that is listed on this list, and I still rock a lot of these brands. I'm kind of curious to see how I'm going to rank them and list them myself. If you guys are excited for this, make sure you go ahead, like the video, and drop a comment down below with your Instagram handle. I'm going to be picking 3 of you guys to win Blazendary merchandise, and big shout out to my post notification gang. Y'all are always repping. So we're going to start with, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to rank these brands. We're gonna start with one that I feel like is kind of easy to rank. Ben Trill, you know, I've been Trill, exactly. I wore this brand in 7th grade and kind of haven't touched it since. So golf. So this is gonna be an interesting one because I like Tyler the Creator, makes great music. A lot of people love his music. I don't own too much golf wing stuff. Now I know for other people they're gonna want to see me rank this a little bit higher, but personally I don't really resonate with the brand that much, so I'm gonna pop it in D. Let's do Champion right here. Champion is definitely a great brand when it comes to kind of making a comeback. Huge thing before the 2000s, and then they kind of made a huge resurgence in the late 2010s, like 2017, 2018. I see Champion falling in the C because they make a lot of really nice styles. They collab with a lot of great brands. This brand list is also really diverse because you have brands like Palace, and then you have a brand like Louie Vuitton up against a brand like CDG. They're all very different, so this is really a general Hypebeast list. And you might even be questioning, well, Blaze, a lot of these brands aren't even Hypebeast. How could you even group G-Shock into something Hypebeast? I'm kind of using the term Hypebeast generally here, and I'm using it in a way that's I think a brand is hype and a lot of people mess with it. That's what I'm considering Hypebeast just for the purposes of this video. Supreme is obviously a definite 100% Hypebeast brand, and we might as well rank it now that we're touching it. Y'all are probably think, oh, he's gonna pop it right in A, but it's I'm feeling the B. Started out as a skate brand. They have always maintained and still maintain their skate brand culture. I don't know if their intention was to have a bunch of 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I was 12 and buying Supreme and stuff. On their website, reselling their goods. I think they make a lot of amazing products, and I think a lot of the products that they make, some of them are just dud. The stuff that they made, I can't even show on YouTube. They did this collab. It was just a bunch of naked graphic, really disturbing imagery. They have their highs and they have their lows, and I think Supreme is a B. I love Supreme and I make a lot of content about them. I don't know if I can quite place them in the A. A brand that I would want to give the A, I'm being really critical, I feel but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Jumpman. Jordan brand. Over the course of the last 30 years, they have changed and molded how we view our outfits, how we view our culture, what goes on our feet, what determines the rest of the outfit. I think if Nike, of course, owns Jordan Brand itself is an A. Of course, they have their shelf sitters and they have their shoes that are that are whack, right? But they still cater to pretty much everyone. Obey, this is kind of clogging up the down here. I want to go ahead and put Obey in the E. Now, I don't give it an F entirely because I wore Obey for a couple years personally, 2-3 years, maybe in middle school. I grew out of it quickly. I just don't prefer this brand really anymore. Now, looking at a brand like Balenciaga, I don't even really own much Balenciaga. I think they have high retail prices. I think recently in the men's category, they've come up triple S's. I'm gonna have to place Balenciaga probably in the B category. I feel like there's a lot of really high-end, good-looking products that they've done. Just because I don't own it personally, I don't want to drag it down in the lower ends, but I also don't believe it's an A because some of their stuff is ridiculous. Have you guys seen that 5-layer coat that they did? I forget who it was, but I saw it posted somewhere. Somebody actually recreated the same coat layout with H&M. But H&M, I feel like has always been, once again, another solid brand. They've had their oopsie. I understand that. I'm going to account for their oopsie. I don't think it was an intentional oopsie. H&M always made really great, affordable clothing, and I still wear H&M a lot because it's just so basic and simple looking. So I am going to pop it right next to Champion, give it that C tier. Now, this Stone Island logo is looking a little rough. I don't know if y'all could see, but I had a tough time finding this logo not looking so rough. Their retail prices are a little high. I've compared a lot of the jackets up front, and I'm like, this jacket is $700 and this one's $900, but why is the $700 one better? That's how I feel a lot of the times when I walk into Stone Island. I think it's a good brand. They did recently a big collaboration with Supreme. They belong also along with H&M in the C tier because it's not catering to everyone, but to the people that it caters to, it does a great job of. Now, we also have, I mentioned earlier in the video, G-Shock. Why is G-Shock on this list? I think at one point everybody wanted a G-Shock, owned a G-Shock, or still owns a G-Shock. I like G-Shock a lot. They even did a collab with Bape recently on a Bape G-Shock, so they're definitely still relevant. I mean, I'd wear a bust-down G-Shock, so I'm gonna pop them in the A. I've never, in my experience, had a personal problem with G-Shock. Their watches have lasted me years. Adidas. So you guys might be questioning Adidas Yeezy or Adidas as a brand. So I placed Yeezy in its own category. So we're gonna go ahead and do Adidas first. Adidas as a brand has made great strides in 2016 when they acquired Kanye, and then they started doing products like the Ultra Boost, and they started expanding upon their Boost line. I just feel like they keep coming out with the same stuff. I don't see them making new versions of the Ultra Boost. I see the Ultra Boost looking the same every time. The human races, they kind of let those not like die out, but they used to resell for a lot of money, and now they're just kind of sitting for retail half the time. I'm going to pop them up in the B, and I also don't want to make this a big debate, but I'm just going to go ahead and put Nike up in the A real quick because I think that's where they belong along with Jordan Brand. And they've been doing a lot of great things in the community, and I'd love to hear your guys' feedback in the comments. And I want you guys to respond to this tier list because I think there's going to be a lot of conflicting opinions, and I'm curious to see what they all are. But back to Yeezy. I think Yeezy made its big splash in 2016. Do I see them continually always having hype? Yes. The Yeezys they make in limited numbers will always sell out. But the clothing line, Yeezy, it's nothing special. In general, not with Adidas, is a D. I don't believe it's as good as it is with Adidas. Adidas definitely bumps it up. CDG, I would have to rate CDG probably a C tier. I think they come out with a lot of really basic looking things, but the basicness of it is what makes it pretty cool. The striped shirts are great for layering. Off-White. Virgil Abloh, the designer and creator of Off-White, previously known as Pyrex, is now the men's designer of Louis Vuitton. That being said, I think there's a lot of charm in Off-White in Louis Vuitton now, like the chain wallets and stuff like that. Their products go on sale more times than not, but the collaborations with Nike, the limited stuff that Off-White has in general, I think belongs in the B tier. Kith is a really cool and interesting brand because they're a store, yet the owner, Ronnie, collabs often with brands, and that kind of gives Kith its own notoriety. They make their own clothing, of course, but they also carry a lot of the clothing that's on this list. I think Kith is an A tier, consistently shown out with success, good products, hyped collabs. I see a lot of good things that always come out of Kith. They deserve that A tier. North Face, they make ski, snowboard outerwear products and t-shirts. As a Hypebeast, I don't just go in the store and buy a North Face t-shirt. I'm more so looking for the collabs that they do. A D tier, not because of the fact that they're not a great brand. When I'm buying North Face, I'm buying it for a reason, like Supreme. Bape oftentimes as well goes on sale. They have their own pirate store, which is kind of like a spot where you can buy their products at a discount. They release them over email, but in terms of a brand, they've been around since the 90s. Nigo is the original founder, or Nigo, however you say his name. There is something called a pre-Nigo era, where all the products that he made were like really fire and they were all just kind of his staple. And then once he left, everybody says it's the post Nigo era. I feel like a lot of the OG Bape heads stopped messing with Bape after this time. I got into Bape pretty much after the Nigo era. So I've always really liked Bape, but I'm always leaning towards their vintage stuff. As a brand, they're a great brand, probably in the B. YSL, I don't really wear YSL because it's so expensive. I don't know, I'm gonna pop it in the E. And Dior, I feel like has also made a resurgence this year and last year in terms of their menswear. Kim Jones recently went to Dior. I think they belong in the C. They just recently started hopping on the men's scene, I feel like. Gucci, they've had their oopsies, they've had their great products, they've had their insane moments in fashion history. It's not always affordable. Over the years, they've been bumping their prices a little higher than usual, so I'm gonna place them in the C just for that. Louie Vuitton. Louie Vuitton in Virgil's hands is going really well. He's creating a lot of new and interesting products. He's really reviving the brand Louis Vuitton. Not like they were dead ever. I think Virgil's getting more people into it now than ever. I would have to go ahead and say that I feel Louis Vuitton is an A tier. Yes, they have high prices, and yes, they just started making a big comeback with Virgil, but I've never had a problem with Louis Vuitton, and I think a lot of their stuff is really fashionable. Fragment collabs often with Jordan. They did the Fragment Jordan 1s. They did the Pokemon stuff with Louis Vuitton. Fragment is a B category because I don't see enough of them. I wish I saw more from Fragment. Diamond Supply Co. I wore this brand in 7th grade, and Nikki Diamond as a creator, the Tiffany dunks, the Tiffany high dunks. It's only in those moments I feel like Diamond makes a presence in the streetwear community, in the Hypebeast community. I wouldn't go in the store and pick up something from Diamond, but their collabs, I feel like they did the collab with Coke, like their collabs are on point. I'm gonna pop them in the E. Palace, I have little Palace gear, but I know a lot of people respect and love Palace for what it's become over the years. Their store in New York is beautiful as well. I need to know more about Palace for me to properly feel like I'm gonna rank it, so I don't feel like I can rank Palace personally, but if I was just to place it, I would place it in the C, but I feel like I can't because I don't buy Palace. So I'm gonna place it right here because I think it belongs here, but I feel like I just can't rate it. And I feel like you guys should tell me where Palace goes. And lastly, Antisocial Social Club. I honestly have had nothing but problems with this brand. Between them shipping my order months and months late. Anti-Shipping Shipping Club is actually the label that I feel like they've gotten in the industry. So yeah, guys, this is my official Hypebeast tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. I encourage you guys to make your own versions of them. I'll leave it once again linked in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this Tier Tuesday. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great night, day, whenever you're watching. It's Blazendary. I'm out. Stay positive. Peace.